This week on Hermitcraft.
Bumbo do the intro. Hermitcraft Season 10.
Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is LoyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. And with Season 10 of Hermitcraft starting, we're once again here to tell you all about it. But before we can do that, we have to tell you about us. If this is your first time on our channel, each week we provide a light-hearted summary of the latest happenings on Hermitcraft, usually covering 7 days from Friday to Friday, and typically uploading on Sunday because it takes time to write a script and edit it all together. So every weekend you can expect a team of enthusiastic fans explaining what the heck all this Minecraft is about.
You get a taste of everything.
If this is not your first time on our channel, same. We've been doing this since Season 4, and you could argue that we've gotten better at it, but we'd probably be the ones arguing against you.
I'm ancient now.
To introduce the team, I'm Pixelriffs, the voiceover guy and co-writer of the script. Our head writer, video editor, and executive producer is LoyXP, and Liara is the captioneer who provides quality handcrafted subtitles each week. Each of us has our own channels here on YouTube and on Twitch, if you want to find us playing our own weird brands of Minecraft and occasionally other stuff too. But none of us are officially affiliated with Hermitcraft. This is a show by fans, for fans, despite that one time I ended up on the server and performed the recap live from a coffee shop.
Yay! Here, have some coffee.
It's been a wild ride, but not nearly as wild as the one we're about to go on, so let's get into what Season 10 of Hermitcraft is all about. Webster's Dictionary defines Hermitcraft as a collection of friends who play Minecraft together and make videos about that. And despite all the iconic stuff they've done over the years, the group itself is really the essence of the server. So what's going to be different about this season? Well, for one, the server is running experimental features of Minecraft 1.21, so for the first time in history, players have access to automated crafting and the expanded copper and tuff block palette. One thing we know for certain is that they've blocked trial chambers from generating because they're still under construction before the 1.21 update actually releases. For another thing, they're kicking off this world with a pseudo-hardcore game which will look kind of familiar to anyone who's watched the Life Suffix series or the Demise game from Season 6. Basically, it's all fun and games until you die, but once you respawn, your name turns red and you become a Reaper, whose job it is to off one of the people who hasn't died yet, with the only condition that it's got to be more creative than just swinging a sword at them until they perish.
Very big, important mystery gift that we all know, but the audience won't know till later, and I think everyone desperately wants the prize.
So half the server has already plotted to kill the other half, and you can expect more mayhem to follow.
Where I have reached 2,000 plus days of hardcore Minecraft. However, that's single player where no one's trying to kill me.
The final thing we need to address is the 2 new additions to the cast. Joining the server for the first time in Season 10 is Skizzleman, whom you may know from the Life series or his frequent collabs with Impulse SV. And technically not joining for the first time, but at least becoming a permanent hermit now, is Smallish Beans, who you'll hear most people calling Joel because that's his name and it's easier to say. What havoc will these 2 newcomers inflict on the server? What trials will the veteran hermits put them through? Let's find out as we take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on day 1 of Hermitcraft Season 10.
You guys are amazing.
Guys, bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Upon logging in, Rendog notices a distinct lack of anything in anyone's inventories. Thankfully, he comes prepared with a solution. If they split up into teams to watch each other's backs and return to spawn after a long bit of caving, there will be plenty of spoils for everyone. All the precious resources and even some of the interesting blocks can be divided into chests where everyone gets an equal share. So having attempted to be a monarch last season, Ren begins this season with communism.
Yeah,
Listen, I worked really hard to organize this little event and it all went P-tong.
Hello.
It all went horribly wrong.
He went perfect.
The gang splits into a set of pre-arranged voice chats and complies, except for Zedath, who is not in any team for the most bizarre reason. You see, having dedicated his last season to the varied and hilarious accomplishments one can do in Minecraft, Zed decides to gamify his Season 10 and starts out with his whole hotbar locked and unusable.
I can't put this crafting bench down. I can't hold it to place it.
He can buy out hotbar slots by sacrificing diamonds, but those are pretty hard to come by when you can't even swing a pickaxe. Luckily for him, his offhand slot is neither hot nor bar, so he can eventually trick some creepers into blowing up enough materials for him to make a flint and steel and use that as a weapon.
Oh, there's double diamonds. I didn't even realize. No!
And just for the record, nothing is making him do this, by the way. Those padlocks are just retextured sticks. The rules are self-imposed entirely. He's just like this. and we love him for it.
Can you put on stuff on your face? Because there's a beautiful iron face I've got over here.
Oh yeah, my face is free.
Thankfully, by the end of the video, he manages to free up at least a couple of slots and is no longer completely handcuffed. Funny as it would be, I don't think he can play this whole season with his right hand tied behind his back.
Bam bam! We have just unlocked hotbar slot.
Team False, Jevin, BOO and Etho briefly become pirates as they board boats and sail up to Grian and crew, but their prospects are much more bountiful in the mines, so prospecting they go.
Are you jumping?
Oh no!
Jenkins!
Even before they fix
No.
that in the update.
Everything's fine.
Are we not concerned about the explosion that we just heard?
After all, any loot pillaged would be returned to the people equally, by decree of the Socialist Digging Company. Of course, they've got to return from the mines intact, so it's understandable that this is the moment Etho becomes an evangelist for shields, and B-Dub spends half the time procrastinating and taming horses for Etho to get jealous over.
Oh my goodness!
What?
He's got the best color too with the white paws. I love that one.
So fast and jumps
Oh
so
my
high.
goodness. Dude, you gotta be kidding me. That's the fastest one ever.
Once he's got a modest amount of equipment though, Etho is keen to do some solo mining with Fortune, the better to acquire some blocks for his build palette. A combination of colourful copper and warm wood types comes together for an Asian-inspired build, which is, in Pearlescent Moon's words,
Exterior! Since when does Etho build exteriors?
Jevin, in the meantime, butters up the audience by telling us all about his plans for the upcoming season. The short version is he wants to live in an enchanted forest, so he'll have to build one since the existing woods won't fit on the enchanting table.
This enchanted forest, I have some very cool ideas for. It's going to be like nothing I've ever built before.
To start this future build strong, Jevin kicks off the season with a whimsical, rustic, medieval fantasy home that overall took him 9 hours to research and plan.
I've done about 3 hours of research and I have about 6 hours of creative building. So I'm about 9 hours deep in just the first build alone.
That's right, Etho. While you were out partying with the hermits, Jevin was studying the blocks. We joke, but maybe he really should have studied the blade. The cave skeleton army gets him to a Reaper state rather quickly.
I was really hoping to win Demise, but you know what? It happens.
Etho's social ways bring him into a historic collab with Gemini Tay, because you see, they do archaeology together.
Etho,
You got an egg?
Yeah!
Nice.
Heck yeah!
Armed with the brushes, the two of them sail off to dust the ocean floor in search of the extinct species of the sniffer. It's surprisingly wholesome until you realise they're both Canadian, and from that point on it's shocking how much they're razzing each other.
We're gonna have a great time.
We are gonna have a great time. I'm glad that you're feeling so positive about this situation.
Do you want to boat off the cliff here?
But this good-natured mockery eventually leads them to their treasure. Though the first opportunity he gets, Etho starts off the artifact black market, and it turns out the going rate for a sniffer egg is 3 poisonous potatoes somehow.
I have a gift for you as well, Gem.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Our friendship is really tough to maintain. So.
Well, if nautical nonsense be something you wish, Gem is right at your service with her starter house tugboat, plucked right out of the Dredge video game. It's only cute because she doesn't yet have the blocks to build the horrors.
Early game. Fitchin' for saddles. Just being able to relax, see all my friends going around. This is nice.
Thematically adjacent, Corrales decides to live on a boat as well. His one is even more SpongeBob style, as it's sitting there on the shore on stilts for some reason.
Good, bad, ugly. Like, I've never lived on a boat. Not in like a Starbase scenario, at least.
This is not cute, the boat is actually stressed. Yachts need salt water to survive. After the way his internet connection treated the mining session, Corrales feels he deserves a vacation. So his theme for the foreseeable future is very summery and tropical, complete with palm trees in the background. Cut sandstone into pieces, this is his last resort. Corrales' connection issues were not the only disruption to his mining crew. At one point, XB Crafted has to hold the fort entirely by himself while Joe is away on an errand and Azuma is doing server admin stuff. But eventually the team comes together, a group identity probably helped by XB providing them with a uniform.
Have a hat. This is a hole? Thanks.
Oh, that type of hat. This is our crew now.
By the end of the session, that sense of party unity overcomes the trepidation of venturing into the deep dark looking for more precious resources. But don't be fooled, that's not the Warden, that's Joe Hills, in a new Minecraft skin that is much more Muppety than the last. And we also have to give Joe props for putting a ton of creativity into his video editing, bringing back childhood memories of Saturday morning cartoons, and providing a handy graphic for us to remember who was on which team during the collab caving session. Because when Azuma gets frightened, you'd be forgiven for thinking a monkey had broken into the studio.
And beautiful.
You good? You're gonna have to make a new Azuma sound compilation.
There's certainly no shortage of monkeying around on the other teams, where event organizer Rendog places himself in the distinguished company of Stress Monster, Hypnotized, Mumbo, and Iskal85.
It is an unwritten rule in Minecraft. You never fiddle with another player's mine shaft.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness there's addition of a certain word in that.
Ironically, having insisted that dying during this mining trip means you forfeit any share of the resources, Rendog is the only one to die, much to the amusement and frustration of his teammmates.
What? Yes. This is his game.
With Ren relegated to sorting through everyone else's gains and being left with nothing himself, he shrugs it off, declares this episode 0, and aims to get geared up in the next episode.
I mean, Foz, it really comes down to how much you trust me, right?
I can look off here and you wouldn't remember what block it was I was standing on.
That is very true. It is quite late right now, and I'm quite old.
Once they're done giggling, Stress Monster and Iskal split off to set up a skeleton spawner, which Iskal deems a glorious hermit creation.
No, don't die!
And while his voice recovers, he experiments with the new tough blocks to see how they'll fit a hillside cave base.
I honestly don't. I honestly have no idea what I built here.
Meanwhile, Stress Monster tames a horse, is menaced briefly by a red-named Keralis.
Where's my lava bucket?
Yeah, no, don't start.
Then proceeds to set up the most aesthetically pleasing early game animal and crop farms we've seen for a long time. With the chaos of community mining left behind, Mumbo settles into his groove over by a cherry grove hill, around which many of the other hermits are building, pausing only to discover how disturbing salmon head sounds are.
Oh, Scar!
Gathering up a bunch of deep slate and mangrove, he assembles a mechanical-looking arm from which his starter base can dangle, and is naturally left with the question of how the heck he gets inside it now.
Look at all these new titles. I spent 16 hours on these yesterday. You better like them.
Our final team mining squad is Skizzleman, Zombie Cleo, Tango Tech, Doc M77, and Vintage Beef. Doc shows up later for reasons we'll explore in a bit, but the team suspects he may be in the pocket of Big Salmon.
I want the salmon.
I want the
I'll
salmon.
take the salmon.
Yeah, I need to eat. I need a swarm of angry
Salmon
pescatarians coming my way.
Big salmon's coming after you.
Big salmon.
Beef is one of the many to die his first death after the community mining concludes, so fortunately he gets to walk away with his fair share of French lapis lazuli.
The blue stuff.
Lapis?
Lapis lazuli. Lapis on
Is it French?
But now he's on the Reaper team, he might be regretting ditching his old butcher's apron skin for the Canadian lumberjack getup. With the corporate fish on their tail, Zombie Cleo books it for the Nether, which is to say they craft the statue book and then go to the Nether.
I've got, 211. What's new in the book?
Once again, the statue book is part of the data packs running on the server that allows players to pose and manipulate armor stands, something Cleo is notoriously proficient at. But to use the pack to its fullest, one also needs the statue wand, which in actuality is a fishing rod with warped fungi on it. That means that for the season to truly begin, Cleo needs to scout out one of those cyan mushrooms. But this expedition inevitably is their downfall. Or rather, their downfall, bubbling noises, fire damage, fire damage, fire damage, Zombie Cleo has discovered the floor is lava.
No. This is bad. Gonna die. Oh, no.
That's one more for the Reaper team, but it makes sense a person with such a name would join the corpse pile.
And my horse, Jason Pendergast. I don't know why, that's just his name.
Hermitcraft newcomer Skizzleman also emerges from the caves alive, despite facing off against an Enderman or two and a lot of near-creeper experiences. First timer to his channel, feel free to play a game of Count the Perfectly Cut Off Screams.
Wow. I don't. It's Green's fault.
Skizz even avoids stepping into an admittedly obvious trap by Rendog in front of everyone, but having jeered at Impulse dying, karma catches up to him in the form of Impulse's fist and a well-placed cavern entrance.
Pilfer his chest of all redstone skills.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No.
Watch out.
Oh,
Despite this, Skizz settles down at the base of the Cherry Mountain, choosing a base location by a giant crag, slapping the inaugural salmon, and announcing his plans to build a pyramid based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's an ambition that comes with a large build plot, although Tango literally pops up to suggest he doesn't need that many signs.
Maybe tone it down a little bit. I think you probably got the point across by now.
Too much is too much, isn't it?
Someone should have given Tango a sign. He's about to get squished by a falling anvil, but that went belly up, unfortunately.
Okay. Was it Doc? Oh my god, I've never been so scared in my life.
Tango takes out his frustrations on villager kind when Impulse and him build an iron farm together, because, obviously, it's good to be back. Once unflattened though, Tango starts on his own starter house, and let me tell you, if he gets into the habit of stepping out every hour to announce the time, I wouldn't be surprised here. Yes, it's a classic steampunk cogs and pipes aesthetic, but it does kind of look like a giant cuckoo clock, doesn't it?
A cottage converted into a steampunk thing, which... This is all these trees, this whole birch forest is pretty much all my land, and we are going to build whiz-bang ridiculous factory that you've ever seen.
Fortunately for Tango, Impulse has already managed to shed his Red Reaper name by the time they put together their iron farm. And thanks to the dawn of automatic crafting, they're able to shape the iron directly into blocks instead of coming back to condense the ingots themselves.
There it goes. It literally just, I saw the...
And this isn't the only collab Impulse lays out in episode 1. Aside from settling down around the Cherry Mountain directly between Skiz and Joel, his major ambition for the series is to team up with BOO to create a massive cyberpunk city on a 200 by 200 build plot.
I also took some time to mark off where our cyberpunk city is going to reside, and yeah, it's a big area.
Pearlescent Moon chooses a different Cherry Hilltop as the backdrop for her base area, and once she's tracked down all the resources, she time-lapses a picturesque ranch house located conveniently close to a couple of neighbors, whom she can bug for a cup of sugar and question whether or not they booby-trapped her front door with fireworks.
You always killed me.
I didn't take you out, though. I didn't take you out.
Almost. One heart, mate.
Almost.
One heart.
Oh, I should have put more fireworks in there. I knew it.
The other inhabitants of Cherry Mountain stick closer to home, and slightly to a side, as both Grian and Joel start houses on the cliffs themselves. Their efforts mirror each other perfectly, as Joel's starter home is more of a roof, while Grian's is literally just a floor for now. It's episode 1 after all. Joel's hesitant to share his exact plans for the season, but he hints at the general vibe with the glowing red lines on the signs of his storage stall.
Then bam, look at this. I think this looks so cool. It's kind of giving a little hint of what sort of style I'm going to be going for.
Grian bounces from Team Hangout to Team Hangout, but eventually finds himself on the receiving end of a baby zombie.
I knew that was going to happen. Now the prize isn't going to be mine.
From then, his primary goal becomes passing on the reaping, and admittedly, Dripstone has that word in it if you say it wrong enough.
That was close.
That was so close.
Alas, the triangle-based shenanigans yield no victims, but he does catch Gemini Tay chilling on the common grounds fishing for saddles. And so the fisher becomes the fishy, as a lucky catch from far above rapidly reintroduces Gem to the asphalt. The red names aren't as kind to Good Times with Scar, as his entire inventory evaporates thanks to a multi-blast TNT trap Cubban 135 sets up for him. Cub himself having died to skeletons earlier.
I knew it was a trap. Took my binoculars, zoomed in, which opened the chest because I was holding down the right mouse button. I have no resources and no build for my first episode.
Clearly, Cubfan got a little over-eager with the demolition, seeing how earlier in the episode he builds up a perfectly nice oak and stone home, only to tear it back down and rebuild in a more convenient spot with higher foot traffic.
You pay me 1 diamond each. I'll leave you guys alone for now.
All right.
There's one.
This one's for Scar.
All right.
The mob massacre gets him proper scared of the dark, and Cub makes it a goal to put together a machine that would craft up logs into torches all on its own. Good thing auto-crafters are here to help, but he still has to get the logs manually for the time being.
All right, boom. There goes. Crafting into wood. The wood is crafting into sticks, and you'll see down here is our crafter with the torch recipe here.
The explosion set Scar back on his plans, but by the end of the video he's recovered enough to deliver a beautiful locomotive, standing for some reason on stilts, as if its tyres got stolen. Scar's general goal for the season is to build a zoo to end all zoos, but unlike Zombie Cleo a few seasons back, he'll be using actual animals instead of armor stand replicas, so more like Zombie Cleo back in Season 2, though that was a museum, mind you. This server's lore is confusing. The point is, Scar is Steve Irwin now, down to the minuscule shorts.
And oh, crikey, look at that beautiful pig over there.
And finally, there's Doc M, who has come in with one mission: outpace everyone else from the beginning.
What do you expect? Goat, seriously.
Doc joins up with the group mining session, but as soon as they're done, he returns to a convenient corral of villagers he prepared earlier and shapes them into a villager trading post that will get him full enchanted diamond as soon as possible.
We also have insane plans, you know the drill.
When a misclick leads to him getting crushed by an iron golem, he pays it forward to Tango in the form of an anvil dropped in front of the convenient farmer villager.
I should have known better to trust the red name.
I'm sorry.
But one excursion to the nether roof later, Doc has portaled out to a swamp where he begins his true project, create a machine capable of auto-crafting pistons.
Now the crafter toggles to a power level of 8. Why am I 9? Why am I, reiterating 999 all the time? Well, because this makes this whole thing work.
A combination of Ilmango's cobblestone generator, a new school witch farm, a slime spawning cell, an iron farm, and an allay-powered bamboo field gets him the resources, and a series of auto-crafters and hopper arrays all come together to create a full chest of auto-crafted pistons. Not to mention slime blocks, firework rockets, a handful of other useful components, and another witch and vindicator exploit that grants him an infinite regen while he's using the farm.
Right, eventually you build up hunger and more hunger. Can you be quiet in the back when I'm explaining something? Excuse me.
Whether Doc's plan is to corner the market in redstone immediately, speedrun his way to a perimeter, or just showcase what can be done, may have to wait until episode 2. But until then, he can relax in the knowledge that he's also created the world's most unethical trash can.
You filter out everything and then you just toss it on the ground here. They don't destroy it. Now it works.
I think this officially makes Doc an evoker, because I'm pretty sure this is how you get Vexes.
They cannot die, they are out regenning fire.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP and my name is Pixel Riffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. It's good to be back. You can find links to everyone from the recap team in the End Screen Theatre if you want to find us at our own channels. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.